Scrappy Kathy here with another of the cybercrop prompts from, or challenges from the Mind the Scrap cybercrop, and another Scrap Squad lift. This is lift day 12 of the 12 days of summer scrap lifts. That's the last one. There's still one I haven't done. It is this one, which I think is day 10. And so I'll work on that one next. And so I'm going to do this one primarily because, and it's driven by the very last prompt in the Scrap Happy load layout a day, and everything was based on the number 7, and you see me do my various layouts about that. This one is the 7 dwarves, and so the question in the prompt was, are you more like sleepy or grumpy or happy or whatever? And it just tickled me because I'd kind of forgotten that John's nickname was Grumpy. And we were known as G&G, Granny and Grumpy. So all of our Christmas gifts that were to the two of us under the tree were to G&G, Granny and Grumpy. And Katie even painted, I wish I had it to show you. I think I'll go get it. If you'll wait just a second, I will be right back. A million years ago, we took the kids to one of those pottery painting places, and Katie found this mug that had the dwarf Grumpy on it, and it has the word Grumpy there, and she painted it for her grandpa. And these are his pencils, and this mug and those pencils still stand on his desk. And so anyway, I wanted a picture of the two of us with all the grandkids. And the one that came to mind was this one, which was in 2010, between Christmas and New Year's of 2010. And we're with the whole mess of kids going to a movie. And James took the photo. I'm assuming that was James taking the photo. As I recalled the trip, we took the 4 of them to a movie, but I don't think we'd have been that crazy. These were the days when we used to come to town. We didn't live with them at the time, and we were about 75, 80 miles away, and so we would drive up for the weekend, and they didn't see us as often, so they were thrilled when they did see us, and ran and jumped up and competed with each other to get the first kiss and all of those wonderful things. And now, not that way. So I love this picture more than I can explain to you. And it was just one picture, and this layout requires 4, or, I could do it with 1 and a bunch of embellishments, but I thought this one would work. And besides, when I saw it come out, I couldn't wait to do it because it's by one of my all-time very, very favorite scrappers, Nikki Rowland, otherwise known as, I think, Nikki Claire Creates on Instagram. But she is just one of my scrappy idols. And so I love the torn papers leading down, kind of the vertical line that's created by having something at the very top and something at the very bottom. And then having this cluster that's a little bit, leaning over to this way, but with the title here. the little different kinds of rainbows around, torn papers behind the frame, the flowers, the flare, and she's got lots of Bramble Fox perspectives in there. And what I really like is she's got sequins kind of all around, like on top of the title and around in the clusters, and different sizes and colors of sequins. Every time I look at one of her layouts and I try to dissect it and figure out how she did some things, it's like taking a class. She's amazing, and she's just as nice as she is talented. So I encourage you to go, if you're into scrap lifting, go look her up and look at any of her layouts, and you'll learn something just looking at it. So anyway, enough about Nikki. I'm going to try to recreate this, and I'm not sure what led me to Cocoa Vanilla Sunkissed, because this is not a summer layout. It's not a beach layout. But I was looking, kind of searching through my brain for a fairly colorful collection that had something of a kind of an all-over print like this black and white. And what I came up with was this pink heart paper, and I'm a little scared to use it. I'm going to use this as the bottom green part, and I'm going to use the other side of this as the part, kind of the middle strip. So we'll kind of see how that works out. I'm thinking I need to start tearing this about here. I'm gonna do it that way, and that's not too S curvy, or it may actually be too S curvy. I kind of wish it were not quite so kind of curving down, so I'm going to try to change that. I'm going to start it with a little snip right there. There. I like that better. Okay, then I'm just going to kind of turn this around and put it like that, so that more of it shows in this one side, kind of matching what Nikki's done here. And then I'm going to lay it on top of this. And don't be scared, I'm not going to waste all of that, but just to get the placement right, I'm going to do that. Excuse me for blocking the view with my head. As you know, I kind of battle with chairs, and the chair that has the legs that are straight down, that do not get interfere with the tripod that holds my camera, that chair started falling apart. One of the bolts fell out, and I haven't figured out, well, I haven't taken the time to actually try to fix it. And so I'm using what was my old desk chair, which kind of has some vertical issues. I have trouble keeping the seat up. It kind of goes down, and it has the legs that splay out, but you know, like most desk chairs, and it gets involved with this and kind of causes the camera to move around. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the adhesive, and if I can find my glue gun, that would be great. I'm going to put the adhesive, well, let me attach this first. Then for spacing, the lowest it can go. I think is there, and does that cover up that? I think it can go lower. Let's do that. There. Okay. Now I'm going to put the adhesive just up from there. While matching this, and then I can cut that blue off, or the teal or green or whatever we're calling that color. So there's how that looks. Now, I think this is going to be a very different look from the white background here. These colors that I'm going to use, I have to be sure they're going to look good on the pink, and that's a little bit of a concern for me. One of the ways I'm going to handle those concerns is to use a lot of white up here. So where I can, I'm using white. She's got some thread there. I'm going to use white thread. And right now I'm just kind of peeling up these things. And again, I'm going to use a stand-in flare right here, and I've got one coming in any day now that I will substitute. I'm going to use a puppy paw flare because it's one of the only ones I have left. And as you know, I use lots and lots of flares. So, okay, now I think I'm going to do this off camera, but I'm going to cut the back of this off because I really don't want to lose that paper. And I kind of don't want to do that on camera. So, I have I've die cut quite a few things for this. Among them some leaves in white. So see how nice the white stands up there. So we'll kind of see how all that manages. Now, in her layout, she's got journaling down here. I'm actually going to tuck my journaling up under there, and I'm going to mount it on this paper. And just have a little bit of this paper showing down here along with some other stuff. So let me kind of get that. And do I want the solid side or the striped side? I think I'm going to go with the striped side. And I will do it this way so that that teal color is here. So I'm going to kind of do this. I'm going to mount it on here. This is a scrap left over from the inside of this frame. So it's a natural byproduct of the layout I'm doing. Okay, there. And that kind of makes a nice tab for it. And I may add a tab to it. Kind of like this. But you know, stripe up next to stripe. I'm not feeling that. I have a better idea. How about this guy? And maybe putting it so that it's just a tiny little bit of it there. Okay, and this needs to be made less sticky. I need to bring my little powder pocket thingy here because I tend to need it a little bit. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to mount some embellishments over to this side and over to this side so that it's not just kind of sticking there. But I kind of wanted to get that there and start building this this vertical part of it by mounting something up at the top. I die cut this little tab with a, I think it's a Bramble Fox die, and I kind of want to have something like a little cluster up here, and I'd like some flowers or something. Here's a way to have some of that blue up here. I like that. So let's go with that. The this little is it flat on one side and shiny on the other? No, it's shiny on both sides. This little guy, the Viewmaster reel is from Bramble Fox, and I love them. I got the set, and let's see. I want this dead in the middle, and then I'll mount this. I pulled a phrase sticker from this sheet from Sunkissed, and it says "The Good Life," and I love all of their sayings, and I like that they're in a typewriter font from collection to collection. So I mix them, the collections, a lot. I mix those up. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to add this and maybe kind of overlap that with it, kind of building things up there. And then I have this little pink heart. And the reason I'm doing this at the top is that I want to be sure that there's room for it. I might tend otherwise to have the photo cluster here with too many things kind of sticking up. This kind of is going to help me keep my photo cluster down. And I apparently need encouragement along those lines. Let me get my popsicle stick and try to pull this glue out from under there. I use too much wet glue apparently, and then when I push things down, it comes out. And as I've said, and I keep telling myself this as much as telling you, it dries clear and matte, flat. So now I have one of these. Now Nikki uses this, one of these down here, and it's a little bit different color. Here's a test to see if I've learned anything from how much glue I use. And it dries and sticks so much better if you don't overuse it. So that's kind of cute there. Okay, so I'm happy with that little cluster. Now I'm ready to kind of look at, I'll determine what flowers to put down here. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put another bit of foam there to lift this up. It looks like it's kind of leaning. I may need another one. And I possibly also want to add one of my die cut leaves. I did quite a few die cuts, and I did some fussy cutting for not this layout, but just from this collection for some layouts. Okay, so 3 layers of foam to get over that. Tells you how thick that perspective is. And for those of you who have asked why they're called perspectives, Perspex is the name of the plastic, the acrylic plastic that's used to make them. So I think it's kind of cute because they add that sense of dimension, which is perspective. Okay, I have this is a piece, I have 2 pieces of a cut file. And as long as I cover up this, and I cut the cut file apart, so as long as I keep this kind of hidden, and I thought that white would also, would kind of look good. So I'm gonna, this tells me, these are the biggest parts that stick up. But I think I want my title more on this side. And I'm not sure why. Well, this isn't my title. This is something I kind of wanted to add. And it's the same yellow that's here. There are several different yellows, a muted yellow and then a brighter yellow. It's the same yellow that's in there. And I want to make sure that's turned so that this is parallel with the top, because it's so close to the top. I can't have it being crooked. So maybe I could put this here, and then my title could go, but the arrow seems to want to be pointing to it. And then I could maybe put my title right in here. My title's going to be just in the Mind the Scrap challenge. It need to be using initials, so it's going to be G&G, and I'm going to it's going to say, where's that piece? I can't lose it. It's my title. Come on. It says off to the movies with, and then I was going to kind of lay it either off to the side or underneath. Here it is. Off to the movies with G&G, but this looks better here. And then I could do this. And it's okay if the arrow isn't pointing directly at the photo, right? Let's see where the photo even is. It would go there, and I'd kind of use this up here. And I've got another little bit of a frame that I could put some embellishments in there, and then build everything else around that. I think I'm going to do that because this color matches, and then my title will be over here. And I'm planning to use these, but I need to be sure that my 2 G's are in the right colors. I've got this kind of greenish color. I guess the only colors are this greenish, yellowish, the yellow-orange, and the two colors of pink. So I'm gonna go with, I think, the orange and the pink. Maybe the green. Either of them will work, I think. Let me pick a pack that's open. Let me pull those out. And I'm not going to put the title on yet because I want to layer it over some other things. But I'll have it handy. I'm thinking the green and the pink. So that green is very similar to the greens that are showing up in those frames. Okay, so I've thought all of that through. And I have this tray of goodies. I have die cut tropical leaves, arrows, fussy cut flowers. I have puffy flowers. I have this pair of hearts. Maybe I could even attach that to here, maybe up close to that guy. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud here. I have this perspective too that I can maybe add in to the cluster. Okay, let's just get started. I'm intimidated, but in a good way, by Nikki. She is, as I said, one of my early idols. I'm kind of met her when I joined in some of the activities at Mind the Scrap. And she was at the Cybercrop this weekend even. And she designs for several other groups, and just everything she does is more beautiful than the last thing she did. She's just, she's great. There are a couple people I feel that way about, and she's definitely one. She did some beautiful work at the Cybercrop this weekend. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of commit to laying this down here. It's kind of warpy, so, and that's a true crafting word, I'm sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste it down because and I'm gonna lower this one. I guess it would be good if the photo were not upside down. I'm gonna lower this one to get everything kind of lowered. I'll I can't raise it. Okay, so this is fine right here. And this one I may not glue the top part. It's thin, and it's kind of hard to get the glue on without it kind of peeking out. And B, it's let me make sure that's parallel. I want that one that kind of straight on. Okay. Now this guy I'm going to raise up on foam. I cut all of these out of scraps that were actually in my scrap pile. And I didn't have to cut into any whole sheets. Even I didn't have to cut into 6x8 pages. So I love this collection a lot, and I hope to use it in conjunction with color study and Let's Wander by Vicki Boutin, because the colors are compatible If certain parts of each collection wouldn't go with the other collection, with certain parts of the other collection, but you can make them work together. I'm gonna overlap that and put it kind of right there. And then build some stuff. I have, in the place of one of those rainbows, I'm going to use an ice cream cone because these are kids going to a movie theater, and right next to the movie theater was an ice cream place, and I think they only went to movies, they only put up with movies in order to get ice cream. Actually, yeah, this was one of those theaters that didn't serve things. So I've got some of these die cuts, and I'm gonna layer some of those in there to, okay, that's cute too. I just, I'm gonna go with this orangey color instead of another green. Okay, there. I'm just leaving this here. Let's go with this maybe under here, but kind of peeking out there. I like how Nikki kind of uses some of the flower ephemera just kind of loose, kind of on their own. I'm gonna do, there's let's see, where is it? I have a piece. Okay, use that there. I've got this, but I think I'm gonna go, where's that little tab I almost used? I like this right here. And then I want to layer something back here just to kind of look like an extra layer of paper. And this is just a scrap from the die cutting. It's the inside of this frame, but I'm going to use it on the, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I get just as much effect from using half of it, and I don't have so much trouble tucking it down in. So let me do that and then try to match it here. So it looks like a whole continuous thing, and that didn't match it. I've got my angles wrong, but I can fix that. Let's get, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to get a ruler. I have a ruler somewhere, some sort of straight edge. Let's just use this. I'm gonna come down here. There. Oh, I just moved it. That's so frustrating. Sorry about that, guys. Just a tad up. And now burnish it in, and that's good. Okay, now put that back. I have some clear stickers. I want to use rainbows here, and I have 3 of them, and I think that I want to use them all, but they're clear stickers, and so I'm going to actually stick, I don't want the pink to come up through them, or any of the other things that I might layer them over. So I'm just going to put them on some typing paper and fussy cut them out. And you can kind of go by the outlines of the stickers to do that fussy cutting. Then you'll get that white, that extra white piece of the rainbow up there. And as you know, I'm trying to go for as much white as possible, even in small doses, because I think it's gonna kind of help with the pinkness of it. I don't mind that. I love the paper and I love the color and I love how it goes with the others, but I am trying for a certain look and a certain effect based on Nikki's original, and I don't really want to compromise that by going, like I would never have used black, or, you know, for my first lift, generally in a or one that I'm really trying to capture the spirit of the original, I'll sometimes get it as close as possible. I'll make an effort to stay true, I call it. And that is true when I'm trying to mirror a technique that I maybe haven't done before, or I really admire how, I do this a lot with Christina Sorge's embellishment clusters. She has taught many classes and has guidelines, and I've picked up a lot from her, but I learn more, to be honest, from actually looking at her clusters and trying to replicate them. Okay, so enough for the puffy stickers now. I'm gonna go with the mostly blue rainbow, maybe up here. I'm gonna have it overlapping that that frame. And I'm not gonna prop it up. I'll just lay it flat because I may want to layer some other things over it. Let me get that there. Okay. This one I may want out here because I've got a lot of different colors going on here, so I probably want that one there. This pink one, the primarily pink one, I could do here. I think that's the end of what I want there. So maybe I could lower, I don't want to do it out here, in other words. I don't want to extend it all the way to the end. I'm kind of trying to keep it somewhat contained. So I think I might layer it here. I'm trying to decide over the ice cream cone or under it. I'm going to go over because I did under on the other one. So let's see. And I'll tell you right now that the part I like the best so far is this white frame. And it's because I miss the white. And I know I'm making too big a deal of that, but that's something that has worried me ever since I picked out these papers. And I know you're surprised to hear that I would worry about paper choices, but like I said, when I'm trying to be true, I try to be true. And this one I know I definitely want on foam, so I'm just going to kind of dry fit it there. Now there's something else I'm considering. I was considering maybe under here or under here doing something fluffy. I'm just gonna try it and see. If I don't like it, no harm, no foul. And I just want, I don't want to stuff the whole thing up there, so I'm going to cut it in between these two seams. This bit of beautifulness came in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit, in which I got all of this. So Christina color matched that to the collection, and it's so beautiful. And I used to do a fair number of shabby chic kind of layouts. I might be able to use my popsicle stick on this one. I'm gonna just I must have some glue under there. If I do, then I may not be able to use it there. And that's okay, because I'm going to have the words there. Okay, it seems to fit right there. And if I do something right here, like for instance, my fake stand-in flare, which is a puppy dog paw right now, but will be something else later. That could kind of end it, and then I could keep this tucked under here. I like it, so I'm going to leave it there, and I will worry about gluing it later, and I'll put that in there later. So now I'm still looking at this. I'm still thinking about this little charm, but that hot pink may just be the wrong pink. So I'm going to reject that. And I have a perspective here that is like a movie projector. And it's meant to be the zoom icon, because it was in a, let's see, I'm going to use this, maybe right here. I can do this. This is white. Again, I want to add as many of these white things as I can. I've also got this bit of black film strip that I think would make these colors really pop. So I could do that. Let me put that there. And if I end up covering it all up, it won't be the first time. But that little bit of black, I think, helps the colors pop, and kind of provides a little bit of framework to lay down the other embellishments. There we go. Okay, now this, can I put this in there? Or would I rather have a large flower cluster that kind of leads down to this journaling in a way, and then put my title like this, and then the G&G right there with this worked in there somehow. I'm gonna go with that. And I'll use, to make up for the white I didn't use with that a Viewmaster, the large Viewmaster, I can add some white die cut tropical leaves. And let me do this there, and then I want to put something here, and that actually may be where I put the flare, kind of right there, or and this can go maybe here. I'll put a little bit of foam underneath it. I still kind of want to fill in something, maybe a single flower, or I have another right there for that. I have this perspective, which is a pink sprig, and I'm thinking a non-pink flower underneath, except I kind of want it to be a half flower, but with a leaf, maybe kind of like this. And I like that orange, and this repeats the orange, but in a different type of flower. There. And then right in here, a relatively small, here, okay, this is good. Something like that. If I put it under, then I have to have it flat, or do I? Let's try with some foam. I've got my reminder to move. My Fitbit doesn't want me sitting here very much longer, so I may and that gets it a little farther over there than I wanted, and I'm covering up this little frame, but you know, it is what it is. You can still see a little bit of the blue flower right there. Do I want to cut some off of this? And I hope I do, because I just did. I'm gonna do that. I layered it under, but I left some dimension. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I just put tape on it, but I'm gonna add some, let me do it this way. I'll put it up a little higher on it. And I'm loving this. I need to kind of tuck it up there a little better. There we go. And then I'll glue this on when I get this done. Okay, and I'm gonna, oops, I didn't peel this one. I thought I had peeled everything, but I have lots of perspectives here, and you'll probably see me using more perspectives because I've actually moved my holder. It was in the office where the desks are. Let me get that. There. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of squeeze this in here. That is glued really solidly, so I'm going to put a small embellishment there, and I want this to kind of be under that guy. So I'm going to do this, and I'm using the fussy cut flowers more than the actual ephemera, because the fussy cuts are from a piece 6x8, and the scale is smaller, and for this particular cluster I think the scale needs to be a little bit smaller, so I need something right there, and maybe that's where the arrow can be. Yes, I like that. It's going to cover that up nicely, and it gives me something that kind of brings this teal in up in that area. Okay, so before I put this down, I want to do some white leaves kind of layered in right there, and I'll layer in some another color as well. Okay, and let's see. I like, but I want to add, I like that orange, but I want to add this teal back there. Okay, there we go. That seems to work. And I've got a little tiny sprig that when I cut this, the scrap was so small it cut it separately. But I like this little sprig, and I kind of want to use it right there. I felt like that corner might need something, so that works for me. I like this white leaf, and I have a smaller one. I'm going to use the smaller one maybe over on this side, just kind of barely peeking out up there. But it just adds some white to that area that's... Now, do I want this white coming out over here? Maybe I do, and then I'll just let the title be there. We'll see. Okay, now let's get my G&G. Well, I have to try a couple things, and I may use some more of these things when we go back. Also, I do need, one of the prompts is to use glitter, and I'm not going to use like real glitter, but I do have this glitter washi tape that I'm going to rip and maybe kind of have peeking out from under the photo, a little torn strip of it, kind of extending over into that floral area, and I can cover up with some glitter. This glitter washi I had never seen before, and Scrappy Adam included it in my, it's what he sealed the bags of my flare, and I saved it so that I could use it on a layout, and this is the first I've used. And it just adds a nice bit of sparkle. I'm happy with that. So thank you, Scrappy Adam. I have this wood veneer camera, which kind of seems like it might want to go somewhere. It's just another layer, kind of building up layers of embellishments, and it just kind of layers nicely there, and the stripes of the rainbow show through the viewer there, the lens, the whatever we're calling it. Okay, there's another white. Oh, I've got this nice heart, which again we could kind of see how things shape up. I'm not sure where to use this, but I want to use it because I love that color, and it could go, oh, how about we do it maybe on this side, because you can still see those flowers under it. I like that idea because it kind of fills in that frame a bit, just a little bit, with something that's not too solid, you know. Okay, and then I have a couple others, but again, I'm gonna stop before I get too involved. Although, here's something. See, this is showing underneath the frame, so I'm gonna need an embellishment there, right? Wood, just this little puffy flower work right there. I think so. And now, in conjunction with that puffy flower, I can do this and maybe scooch it up under that rainbow. And there you can still see that framework of that teal paper there, but then I've got this other good stuff. So let's do the title. And I think how I'm going to do it is have this coming here and then the G&G there. So let's see. I said I wasn't going to use the orange one, so I'm going to use the pink and the green. And the first G is for Granny, so I can kind of hide this one under there. And I do not have an ampersand here, but I'm going to find one, and it's going to be black. I forgot to get the ampersand, so I'm going to do this and maybe a flower cluster there. And the other option I had was to lay across it, but I printed this too large. So let's put this on foam and kind of get it. And I've already got a piece of foam cut, and I'm going to go back and add in white flowers, or not white flowers, white sequins. I've already added white flowers, or white leaves anyway. And I'm going to put the G&G up on foam as well, just so that I can tuck things underneath. So I'm going to do this so that the end of it is hidden under those leaves. I left a little white on the end so that I could layer something over without obscuring any of the words. And let me get another piece. I also have something that I saw on on a Vicky Booten sticker sheet that says photo op, and I think, or photo op ahead, and I think that would be meaningful to the kids because they complain about all the photo ops we take, and their dad is worse than I am. He is a scrapbooker, he just doesn't know it. He scrapbooks on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And I grab a lot of the things that he puts out there, sometimes grabbing even his journaling, because he's got a great sense of humor and a good vocabulary, and he's a cool guy. So I'm going to overlap that G there. That's a cool idea, and putting it on foam allows me to do that. And I'm going to make a very small G, a very small ampersand, and it may overlap. Okay, that kind of allows me to do this right here. Maybe I'll overlap that there, and then I can add this little flower cluster that way. Aha, yes. In case you hadn't noticed, I love flowers on scrapbook pages. I know some people say they're tired of them and it's overdone, and I use flowers on nearly every page. I kind of challenge myself every once in a while not to use flowers. Okay, so that's as far out as this is going to go. I haven't glued this down, and I'm wondering if I need it or if I just want a flower kind of off on its own here. Or maybe this with a flower there. I think I'm going to go that way, and I will save this for another time. Anyway, what I was going to tell you is that my container, my holder for Bramble Fox Perspectives, used to be in another room, so I moved it onto my table. And let me show it to you if I can get it. And I know I'm interrupting the thing. It's this little container, which I think used to hold like supplies for in the diaper changing room. So it's been around for a while. So I have things that are just icons, you know, up in here. This one is my drawer for titles, and I've got some still in the package, but long, you know, larger things I can use as titles. This is my Disney drawer. It also has my hearts and stars. And then this is the drawer that has the date related things. So it has, last year, every month, you got the month name, and I didn't use all of them, so they're in there somewhere. I'm going to glue this to here, and then put the foam behind it, which will raise the heart up as well. And let me get a piece of foam. Here it is. There. And that way the heart isn't flat, and I can maybe add another little, I have some little pieces of flowers here. I can do something like that or this, but I think I'll go with Nikki's idea of just using that by itself. And I may find one other spot that I could use a flower by itself. Let's go with this blue flower, and maybe we'll put it here. She doesn't use them kind of out in the field. Let's do this and see if we need something like that. So for this, I'm going to have a flower. I don't have any more fussy cut flower clusters, but I can make a flower cluster with a, could I use some, this is another, I've been squirreled. Could I use some glitter on here and kind of run it across? It's almost perfect, a perfect length. Okay, that draws your attention to that. Okay, I stuck it a little bit too far up under the glue, so let me stop that. Okay, so I'm going to pick a couple of ephemera flowers. I like this pink one. I'm going to have it coming out from under there, but on foam, just on one side, so that this kind of layers or inserts, or kind of, it anchors it visually, but it doesn't keep it from coming out. I guess it doesn't anchor it actually. So I'm going to do this. There, and that kind of creates a little bit of a pocket, and then I can do a green sprig, or do I want to do an orange tropical sprig? I'm going to do a small green tropical sprig. How's that? Oh, or white. I could do a big white one. But I was thinking of maybe doing the white like this. So I think I'll do that. I'll use the green. I'll go back to the green. And yes, I know that isn't glued in there yet, and I'm going to do that off camera maybe. But it's growing on me, so I will do it. Come on, that's not... overdone the glue again, and I thought this was all going to hide up under that flower. So okay, so what I'm going to do here is put some foam kind of right up here, and that part it's going to show through the holes, but that part's going to be up under here. And that goes there, but I want a flower kind of peeking out from under the leaf, and I think I'm going to go with a yellow one. I'm going to change my mind and just have the yellow one with the leaf kind of peeking out, just barely peeking out from under there. And I don't like that, so that's not going to happen. Let's go with this orange one that's already cut in half, and it doesn't have a leaf, so I think I'm going to like it better. There. And then this is kind of raised up, so that holds my journaling bit there. I need to hold it up enough so that this tab doesn't interfere with things. And my flare, when it arrives, will kind of go underneath this leaf. And now all that's left is the sequins. I think I've got, well, I see an opportunity to use something that already has glue on it right in there. I don't like that because the scale is different. Maybe up in there. Nope, don't like it. It doesn't matter if it has glue on it. I don't like it. But I do think this and this might be cool, and maybe even this one, although it might be good there. So I think I'm going to put it there. And I know right about this time I should be quitting, but yeah, I like that. But I need to keep them kind of going up and not over. Oh, look how pretty that is on the striped side. There. Ooh, and that's on the striped side with the red. I need to intentionally do that so that the and then this, I think I can use that glue and kind of get it down in there. Okay, I think I've used nearly everything that I die cut. I could probably add something there. Maybe I'll cut this little guy off and see if that can work around there. I don't like it, don't think I need it. So these will be saved for another layout. Now, I'm going to use reckless abandon in doing sequins. Let me get them on a flat surface. There are several kinds of white and clear ones here, different sizes. This is a Christmas mix that I did a while back. Let me kind of look at Nikki's. She's got like, say, 1, 2, 3, and let's go 4 right there. And I'm going to put 4 different kinds of sequins. This one is kind of a translucent. This one is a solid opaque. This one is a really small clear. And I have a larger, well, I have a, let me put a really small solid one, but I have too much glue. So where that glue ended up is where this sequin's going to end up. Okay, then she also has, well, let me do the thread. She's done, I think some thread right in here would be nice, and I kind of saved that, and there's an area there that it would also work. Kind of fold this into each other. Let me get some glue down there. I don't think I got enough. Okay, and then I'll get my popsicle stick. Okay, let me do that. Okay, and then right in there, I can do a cluster of sequins, or just one, maybe. But right there for sure. Okay, and then do I want the other one here or here? I think I'm going to do it down here. She has a puffy heart that came with, I think, the Cocoa Vanilla collection that she was using. And I don't have a puffy fabric heart like that, but I have this silver star that's puffy, and it's just not right for this, so I didn't use it. You probably saw it in the tray there, and part of the reason is because I used that gold glitter washi tape, and I'm not opposed to mixing metals, but not on this page. Okay, there, and that one's kind of a little bit messier, and I like that about it, oddly enough. Okay, and I do need this for my sequins. So I've got sequins there. I'm going to add another one here and one kind of right there. Just adding little bits of sparkle in, for me, unexpected places. There's some of these sequins that are in the shape of stars. This one is a clear one. It'll go down there. And she used it on her title, so I'm going to put some on the G's. I just think that's genius. Everything about her layout is genius. Everything about all of her layouts is genius. And she has the most soothing, wonderful voice. And of course, she's British, so to a Yank like me, it's I love the accent. Many of you out there won't recognize it as an accent. It'll seem like just talking. Okay, there, and then I'm going to do some across my flower clusters in unexpected places. I might expect to do some in the center of the flowers, but this is kind of an opalescent looking one. This is gorgeous. And this is one of those kind of eggshell looking ones. And now a small solid color, white. Little bits of sparkle there. I'm going to go over here and do some on this side. I'm going to do one on the camera, one up on the rainbow, one on the ice cream, one out in the field, one over here on this orange flower, and one up here on that white leaf. We'll see if I remember where all those things are. Oh, come on. I'm gonna go with the one on the camera first. I'll do one, this one on the in the field. I've got a clear one here that I can put on the ice cream cone. Ah, come on, let go of it. My tweezers have glue. I use my tweezers for everything. And I'm gonna put that one there. I'll pick one of these, another eggshell one for right here. I think that one's upside down. And it truly looks, on Nikki's, it looks like she's just dropped them in place. And they're beautiful. Okay, there's one right here. Okay, I see another thing that I can do right here with one there, and one there, kind of up in that cluster. Let me get a clear one to go on the perspective. This eggshell one to go right here, kind of in the middle of all those leaves. And let me find a little tiny one, and one just popped out to go right there. And then I need some up here. I'm going to do one kind of right on top of this little heart, close to that heart. I think that will draw your attention to it. I'll put one there and one right here on this orange sprig. So there's this one, can go there. I need a bigger one here. And I'm going to go with an eggshell one, but I don't want it to be broken because it's going to stand out on its, oh, come on, don't run away from me. Here. And here. And there's one up there. I'm going to look for one of those opalescent ones. There. Okay. I might add one or two in here. One right here on the rainbow and one there. Maybe one right there. And we'll just go one by one. I'll do a clear one right here. And that glue will dry clear, so it's not gonna look like that when it dries. And I like this little tiny one that's stuck to my finger for right here. Okay, so I'm gonna call it done. I'm going to glue the lace under here. I'm gonna test that and make sure it moves, and it does. And I have some hair. You're probably wondering why I'm losing all this hair, and I'm wondering the same thing, but it seems to be on every layout. And I will replace this flare when I get my new ones in, and they may be in the mail today. And so I'll glue this, replace that, and add the ampersand. I have to go hunt for an ampersand. Should I have put, let me put one sequin down here. I'm gonna, oh, I reached for an opalescent one and it didn't come up. It's kind of like those games at the fair that you think your little you think you've got hold of something, and you find that the game is programmed to let go of it and not be able to hold on. Okay, so it's more busy than Nikki's, but I kind of kept to including the things that I wanted. I think I used, made good use of the collection, and my big thing is I don't mind the pink. So hopefully you can see that. As I look through the camera, it doesn't look very, the light is not showing it well, so I'll have to make sure that when I photograph it, it's kind of a dark day today. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. This was a really long one, and there's no mixed media on it, so I'm surprised that it went that long. But when I'm really trying to do a lift, I kind of get bogged down in details. So again, thank you for watching. Bye.